joined by Alamogordo Tigers head football coach A.J. Cisco. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good, man. It's Wednesday, getting ready for another week.
Obviously, disappointing again on Friday night. The thing that's obviously been the challenge for you guys is not having turnovers and not having mistakes that either slow drives or kill drives, and especially when you saw how the game ended, where you guys had a chance to tie it right there at the end. I mean, if you are able to limit the turnovers a little bit, obviously, that's a game that you guys have a chance to win.
Yeah, it's a frustrating loss when you outplay somebody in just about every facet of a game and lose because you turn the ball over. And we had what we calculate as 8 turnovers in that game. 5 will be official. Then you have the onside kick. You got the strip sack in the end zone, and then we get stopped on a 4th and 1. So it's frustrating when you have so much success offensively moving the football up and down the field and just can't score a touchdown until 90 seconds in the game. But, that's one thing about our kids is they don't quit. I mean, they just kept playing and playing and playing, and sure as heck, we found ourselves with a shot to tie the game at the end of it. And I couldn't be proud of our kids for that resiliency and that kind of attitude of just keep playing. It kind of goes into what we talk about of just put your nose to the grindstone and go and just keep going and see where you stand at the end.
Yeah, and I think, offensively, again, you guys moved the ball as you have all season long. You ran the ball well. I thought the passing game, again, had some positive things going on. And defensively, I mean, the defense did a great job of keeping you in the game. They forced 3 turnovers on their side and make some big plays throughout the game, and they were put in some tough situations as the game
absolutely progressed. And they rose to the challenge and kept fighting to keep it close. And we didn't give up a point in the second half. I mean, we gave up 15 in the first half or 16 in the first half, and then throw a goose egg in the second half. I mean, our defense played their tails off, and then those 2 big goal line stands to get us back into it and keep us in the game, and then just us with the turnovers or penalties killing us offensively and stalling drives out or limiting the opportunities we had to score. It's very frustrating. But like I said, I was proud of our kids for continuing to play, and then you go down, score, get an onside kick, get a hook and ladder, and next thing you know, you're on 30 with about 20 seconds to go. And you can see our youth right there and how we handled that situation at the end of the game with no timeouts, even though we've talked about it and worked it. You can understand why we're so young, and it can be frustrating at times.
Yeah, and I think after the game I saw your interview with the Alamogordo Daily News, and you pointed that as you took to blame on as a coaching staff that you guys felt like we needed to prepare better and needed to do these things better, and that's why things so it's win as a team, lose as a team for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I tell our kids all the time, if they win a game, they'll get all the credit. If we lose a game, I'll take all the credit. And that's no extra weight on my shoulders. It's just what it is. And I felt like as a coaching staff and as the head coach, we had to do a better job of getting our kids focused and being able to limit those mistakes we made on Friday. And I told our kids afterwards, that's all on me. And it's one of those things that after that week's over, you kind of have to regroup and get ready. And next thing you know is you're playing one of the big boys in the state who's twice the size of our school, but getting our kids refocused and understanding that we can play with just about anybody in the state if we limit our mistakes and don't turn the football over.
Yeah, and we talked about Hobbs a little bit. I think it's more been off air, but they're a team that obviously is immensely talented. They're big on the lines. They've got some really talented, skilled kids. But they've kind of been going through the same kind of things you guys have. Is from week to week, their consistency has definitely been hurting them a little bit.
Oh, for sure. You go to that first week against Lovington. I think they snapped over the quarterback's heads 10 times in the first quarter. Yeah. I mean, they graduated a bunch of kids and they got to replace them. And Coach Stevens and his offense coordinator, Coach Robinson, have done a very good job of getting that place back to being Hobbs and being respectable in football and being extremely talented and good at it. And like I said, one of the things I told Coach Mills, the D-line coach, is that's one of the most disciplined Hobbs teams I've ever seen when we play them. I mean, that's kind of not the norm for those kids or that place. And Coach Stevens done a good job, but they've had their struggles too. But hopefully they struggle a little bit more on Friday than us.
Yes, you would hope. Obviously, it's one of those nights where they're not having maybe because it seems like the last couple times you guys have gone against them, they've gotten everything right, and
the last 2 years they've played really well against us, and that's a credit to their coaching. I mean, they've got them prepared, and they've got them to forget about what happened the week before, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, and just focus on that game. And that's something that we've taken to task this week, and we've talked to our kids every single day this week. Is what's done is done. It's time to get ready to play Hobbs. Hobbs has no ill feelings. Hobbs doesn't care what happened to us last week. That doesn't bother them at all. They're coming in here to win a game in our stadium.
They will be, I mean, at least from what we've seen the last couple of years, a little bit more balanced. I mean, they can hurt you both with the run and the pass, and that obviously adds a little bit of an extra layer to the defense and what they need to be able to protect. Because like last week, Oregon Mountain obviously struggled with the passing game. They did very well with the rushing attack. This week, Hobbs can obviously do it to you both ways.
Yeah, and they can scare you outside with the athletic ability they have. But they're so big up front that they can run the football just about against anybody they want to. It's one of those things that they're going to be balanced, and they're going to take what we give them. Last year, we tried to force them to run the football, and they sure as heck did, and did a really, really good job at it. And the year before, they had the Trevino kid, and we tried to make sure he doesn't make plays, and they found another way for everybody else to make plays. And, I mean, that just goes to being a well-coached football team and then executing well in that moment.
And for you guys offensively, I mean, again, all season long, the team, you take away the turnovers, obviously, the team's executed pretty well. You guys have run the ball well. It feels like the passing game's getting a little bit better over the last couple weeks. So, I mean, it's a lot more of, the kids, they know what obviously is in front of them, what they need to do in order to be successful.
Yeah, and our kids understand that. And we've done a lot of things to give our kids a shot to be successful. With Nate now playing quarterback, and we've kind of done some things different in the passing game that kind of fit his ability. And being able to let us throw the ball a little bit better with him doing it. We've always been able to run the football. That's something that we hang our hat on this program, is we will be physical and run the football. So it's nice to know that we can fall back on offense and rely on us to move the ball, but we've got to do a better job of finishing drives. We've got to score points. We tell our kids when we score, our goal is to score 4 touchdowns a game. We've done it once this year, and we won that game. And that's one of those things that we have to score 28 points to win games around here.
Yeah. Friday night, obviously, it's I think we only got 2 more Friday night games. We got a Thursday night game next week. So, obviously trying to get the fan support back out there, similar to what it was at homecoming. I know that we talked about it after that game last week of what a big deal it was for the kids and everybody involved. It does mean a lot when those kids walk out there and see those fans
absolutely. When you get the community to show up and sell out the stadium like they did for homecoming, and they've done a good job the last few years of showing up and supporting not just our kids, but any kid that's involved with anything that goes on a Friday night. And like I've told you from day one, this place is special. And if we can get this community to figure it out and come and support the heck out of all the kids that are associated with anything Friday night, and it's a cool place, and there's nowhere else you want to be on a Friday night. Yeah. And same thing, I mean, you get a shot to go watch soccer. Soccer played yesterday and played well. You got them again tomorrow. I mean, there's a lot of things this community can rally around and be proud of the kids that are coming out of this community. And you hear that old quote that it takes a village. I mean, this is the village, and we're raising a bunch of really great young men and women.
All right, well, we're still looking forward to it, and we'll see if the Tigers can bounce back against Hobbs. That'll be 7 o'clock on Friday night. Coach, appreciate the time as always.
Appreciate it, man. Go Tigers.